So in the previous class, we have seen how we can handle input box, check boxes, and radio buttons. So today we'll see how we can handle drop downs. So there are different type of drop downs we can see on the web pages. So normally we can see select type of drop downs like static drop downs we can say, because in the static drop down the options are always same. Sometimes you can see bootstrap drop downs, auto suggested drop downs, dynamic drop downs. It's a different type of drop downs we can see on the web pages. Okay, so in today's class I'll show you the static type of drop downs, so how we can handle them. Some selected type of drop downs we can call them, and then we will see rest of the things. So drop down means what? We can select option, right? So for example, let's say, again, there are two kinds of drop downs most of the times you can see. We can say uh, single select and multi select. So for example, if I look at this page, I have a different type of drop downs here. So this is a country drop down. So we can select only one option at a time. We cannot select multiple options. And you can see here the colors. So here you can select multiple options like this. So this is multi select drop down, or we can call it as a list box also. And this is another type of drop down. This is also list type of drop down, right? So these options are fixed, so these options won't be changed every time. So these are all static drop downs. Again, in this we have a single select and multi select drop downs. Okay, so we'll see how we can handle these drop downs and what are the different assertions we can add on these drop downs today. And in the next class I'll show you other type of drop downs. So first let us start with a single select drop down. So if I inspect this element, any single selected drop downs, you can see select tag. So if you have a select tag for that element, it is very easy to handle because the direct methods are available in Playwright. So using select option method. So select option method is available. So by using that option, we can easily select option from the drop down. It can be single option or multiple options. We can easily select. And before that, when you're inspecting this element, you can just cross check the select tag is available for the drop down or not. Even if you select the second drop down, even that is also having the same selected tag. And every option, whatever is there inside the drop down, we can have a option tag here, right? If I look at the first one again, so this is my selected tag and which is having some ID and other attributes. And if I scroll down, you can see each and every option is an element. So here option is one element, second, third, fourth, and there are multiple options are there. Okay. So this is a structure of the DOM for the selected type of drop downs. But sometimes you don't have a select tag. You can see button tag, or sometimes you can see div tag. They are different type of drop downs. We can call them as a bootstrap drop downs. So that we will see later. So first of all, let us see how we can handle these type of drop downs. Single select drop down. We'll start with single select drop down. How we can select one single value at a time. And apart from this, we can also do some other operations. We can do some other assertions of this drop down. Now go to VS Code editor and I'm creating new file under the test. I call it as a single select dropdown dot spec dot ts. Single select dropdown dot spec dot ts. So first of all, let's import so required packages, test, expect, and locator. Now I'm writing a test method. I can say test. So the first parameter will be the name of the test. I call it as a single select drop down. And the second parameter is an arrow function. And this is an arrow function we need to have. And inside that arrow function, we need to pass a page picture. And this is an asynchronous function. I can say async. Right? This is the structure of the test method in Playwright. So now we'll see how we can handle single selected drop down. So before that, let me launch my page. So I can say await page.goto, and this is the page I'm trying to use. So this is the page and this is the drop down I'm going to use, country drop down. Okay. So how we can select the option from the drop down? See, the first action we do most of the times, right? Whenever you see drop down, you will select one of the value from the drop down. So to select the option from the drop down, so there is a method called select option. First, we need to locate this element. By using that locator, we can call a method called select option. In the select option, again, we can pass a different type of values. There are many ways to select, almost 3 to 4 different ways to select option from the drop down. But in every approach, we use select option method, but the arguments will be different. So let me show you how we can select the option from the drop down. So the first thing is select option from the drop down. So there are 4 different ways. Okay, there are 4 different ways. So first approach is, first we need to locate the element. Okay, so this country drop down, inspect this element. So most of the times we use CSS selectors or Playwright locators. Okay, and CSS selectors we will try to use now because we want to work with the different kinds of options, different multiple options. And 2 important things. Sometimes when I use Playwright locators, right? So you may have a different duplicate elements on the web page. So all elements are having same kind of an attribute. Suppose, for example, if you're using get by label, with the same label, there may be multiple elements will be there, right? So in that case, you will get a strict violation error from the Playwright if you are trying to locate multiple elements using Playwright methods. So instead of that, go with the CSS. Whenever you're working with the multiple elements or group of elements, or if you want to return group of elements, multiple web elements, then go with CSS. So if I look at this element, select tag is there and ID is country and some other attributes are there. So let me get this element, select this entry. How we can get this element using CSS? You already have an ID, right? So how to write that locator for this? Simple. You can just go to the selector hub and you can just type ID is there. So how can representing ID? Using hash. Hash, simply say country. That's it. So one element is matching. So you can use this CSS to locate the country element. Now I'm capturing that element. I can say await page dot locator and simply specify the locator. So this is actually written the country element, which is a drop down. So from this, we have to select an option. So you can say select option. And here, the first approach is we can directly specify the visible text. So visible text is nothing but what? These are all visible text. So whatever the text we are getting here, these are all visible text. We can select one of the option. Or in the selector tag itself, these are the visible text. You can just copy one of the text and directly you can provide. So here I'm just passing, let's say India. So you can put single quote or double quote, which is a basically string. Okay. This is the first option. Using select option, you can pass a visible text. This is called visible text. Okay. This will able to select the option from the drop down. So this is the one approach. And the second approach is, let me show you. Second approach is label or value. So select by option, same method. Instead of visible text, we can pass a value. So value is nothing but what? If I go back to these options, each and every option is having certain value attribute. You can see for United States, the value is USA. For Canada, the value is Canada. For United Kingdom, the value is UK. So for every option, there is a value attribute associated with this option tag. Sometimes you may find this value attribute, sometimes you may not find these value attributes. If the value attributes are present, then only you can use this. Otherwise, this option is not relevant. For example, let's say I want to select United Kingdom. Then what is the value of this? UK. That you can specify. So here I will specify that in the curly braces we need to specify. In the curly braces, I say value colon UK. That's it. So this is how we need to pass. So value colon UK. So this is a way we can pass the value of the particular option. And this is a value attribute. So by using value attribute, we can select the option from the country. So this is the one option. And the third option. So first one is by using visible text, we can select the option from the dropdown. Second approach, by passing the value of the attribute. Means what? We need to pass a value is actually attribute name colon. This is the value of the attribute. So this is how we can pass. And the third option, by using label also we can select. For example, let's say label. Await page.locator, same locator, select option, again same. In the bracket, we need to pass a label. So if I look at this again, what is a label? So labels are nothing but again inner text. So United States is one label, Canada is a label. So whatever you can see here, all these options are the labels only. Okay. So by using label also, we can pass or we can select the option from the drop down. So to get the label, again, in the curly braces, use keyword called label, colon, and let's say again, I want to select something called India. I can pass India like this. So this is by using label. In the curly braces, we have to keep. It can be value or label. We need to keep in the curly braces. Only the visible text we need to directly pass in the single quotations. Okay. And this is by using label. We can select a option from the drop down. So this is a third approach. And the fourth approach, final one. Using index also, we can select the option from the drop down using index. As a select option, and in the same curly braces, we need to pass an index. So from where we can find the index, index won't be showing the DOM structure. We need to count index from 0. So we can say this is 0 and next element is 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. So you can say 0, United countries, United States is 0, and this is 1, Canada is 1, United Kingdom is a 2, Germany is 3. So we can pass index like this. So to pass index, again in the curly braces, index colon, you can pass some index number. So this is another approach. Okay. So these are the 4 different approaches which you have. By using index of the element, we can select option from the dropdown. So these are the 4 different options which we have to select an option from the dropdown. So by using visible text, by using by using value attribute, by passing the label, by passing the index. But when I use value attribute or label or index, we need to keep that inside the curly braces, and we need to provide the value colon value attribute colon value of the value attribute. Similarly, label colon value of the label. Again, index colon the value of the index. Okay, these are the 4 different approaches which we have to select value from the dropdown. So now let me execute one by one and then I will show you. So these are the options. Okay, we cannot say the differences. Ultimately, what is our goal is to choose the option from the dropdown. That's it. Okay, so these are the options are provided. So visible text means what? It is same actually. So even visible text and label is also same, because we are capturing these two from the inner text only. So this is the inner text and this is also inner text. Okay, so both are same. So these are the 4 different approaches. Now let me show you one by one how it is going to select the option. So I'm just enabling the first one, select option by using visible text. So it will go very faster execution. So what I will do is we can put timeout here, or else I will show you one more option. Let me hold on this. So I'm just waiting for 3 seconds, or let me just have 5 seconds, because the page will close very faster. Let's go to terminal and then run the test. So here I can just try to run the test in the tests. So what is the name? Single select drop down dot spec dot ts, and I'm running in headed mode. Okay, now I can just look at this. India is got selected automatically. You can see India is got selected. After 5 seconds, it is automatically closed. So by using visible text, I have selected that option. The second thing is using attribute. You can attribute in the sense, if the attribute value is available, then only you can use this option. Otherwise, this won't work. Okay. Value attribute must be present. Sometimes you won't see the value. In that case, you won't use it. So UK means United States. Let me run once again. The second option. Okay, look at this. UK means United Kingdom is got selected from the drop down. So this is an option which is got selected, closed. So now the third option, label. So label and visible text is almost same. Let me execute one more time. Okay, so you can see India is got selected once again. So using label, we have selected this option. And the fourth option, using index. So as of now, in the third position, we have Germany. Okay, let me just go and check once again. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Germany is there. So let me run the test once again. So, okay, I'll come to that one second. Okay, so this is a country. So now we can see Germany is got selected here. So I'll show you all the options just to have some patience. So let me finish the topic, and then if you still have a questions, you can ask me, okay? Right. So this is a how we can select option from the drop down by using different options. Okay. Now let me show you something else. So the first one is done. So this is the main activity we do in the drop down. Okay. At the beginning, I told you, Teja, so if the options are changing in the drop down, that is called dynamic drop down, bootstrap drop downs. So that also we can handle. We will cover that in the next session. In the beginning, I've told you there are two types of drop downs. Today, we will focus more on static drop downs. Means the options are static, so they won't change. If the options are changing, they are comes under the dynamic drop downs or bootstrap drop downs. So we'll try to handle them in the next class. Okay, this is a very big topic. I will cover each and every type of drop down. So don't worry about this. Just have some patience. Okay. All right. So now this is the first option. So select the option from the drop down. So four different approaches which we have. Now, what are other things we can do in the drop down apart from this? Only selecting option, or can we do anything else? At the validation perspective. So what are the other validations we can do on the drop down? Count is important. Count. Count is nothing but how many options are there in the drop down. So let's say as per the requirement, let's say I should have a 10 options in the drop down, or 20 options should be there in the drop down, right? So that also very important thing which we need to validate. So now let me show you how we can validate number of options or check number of options in the drop down. Check number of options in the drop down, or we can say count. We need to count how many options in the drop down. This is very important. Listen very carefully. So we have already captured the element, country element, right? So this is the country selected drop down. So this particular locator is just returning the country drop down, but it won't return the options. Okay. This locator is returning only the country drop down. If I look at this element in the country itself is one element, and inside this every option, whatever you can say, this is everything is an element. Every option is a web element. So if you write a locator like this, still only country, this is just returning the drop down, but it won't return the options. So now we need to capture all the options. Then we can find number of options, how many number of options. So how to capture these options? So we need to write a CSS for that also. And that CSS should return multiple web elements. Let me show you. Go to selector hub. So I have written country like this, right? This is returning one element, which is a drop down element. Now, apart from this, I just want to get all these options from the drop down. Simply what you can do inside the select, there are many number of options are there. So just go to option like this. Now 10 elements are matching. That means 10 options are there. So here the greater than is optional. If you want to navigate from one node to another node, this is a navigation operator which we can use in CSS. But in XPath, we will use a single slash. In CSS, you can also use space. Space is also fine. Okay, space or greater than. Space is also representing a navigation. So you can use whichever you want. So I'm using greater than symbol here. Now 10 elements are matching. So I'm using this particular CSS to capture the 10 elements which are present inside the dropdown. So now instead of just country, just use this locator. Okay, because this will actually returns all the options from the drop down. So that those options I'm going to store in a variable. So I'm creating a variable called drop down options. drop down options, and I make it as a const variable. And what is the return type of this? It is returning multiple elements. Even though it is returning single element or multiple elements, return type is always locator itself. Should not forget this, important in interview perspective. It is not returning an array. We have done this many times, right? Why you are not remembering? So you can see locator method always return the locator itself, even though this is matching with single element or multiple element, doesn't matter. Ultimately, the locator method will always return locator type. So the type of the variable is what? Locator. So do we need await here? Await. No, because locator method won't return any promise. It is just storing the items in the variable. That's it. So when I perform an action, then we need to use await. These are very important in interview perspective, guys. Don't confuse. So what is the return type of locator? They may ask. Okay, so if you specify this locator which is matching with single element, then what is the return type? And if you are providing the locator which is matching multiple element, then what is the return type? Is it different or it is the same? So you should remember this. Many times I repeated this. Okay. All right. So now I got drop down options. I got all the options from the drop down. So can we count it? Can we count how many options are there? So if we want to count how many options, how we can do it? We have a method called count. So now I'm adding assertion await, expect, await, expect, and take this drop down options dot. The assertion is what? To have count. To have count. How many count we are expecting? 10 should be there. Okay, this is the assertion. Simple. Capture all the options from the drop down and write an expectation. So await, expect, drop down options. Here that's a locator dot to have count and expected count. How many value should be there in the drop down? So this is how we can do use a assertion type. Okay. Now let me run the test and see. Okay, so now, so one option. Okay. So I have not selected anything. I have commented all the 4 statements here. So just directly, it is counting all the options and find out the total count is exactly 10. So one is got passed. So let's say 5 I'm giving. So it should definitely fail. Let's see. So I have given 5, but actual count is what? 10. Now you can see the output is expected is 5, but what is received is 10. So there is a mismatch here. Okay, so this is the mismatch. Expected is 5, but what we received is 10. So mismatch is there. So that's the reason my assertion is got failed. So just make it as a 10 like this. Okay. So this is how we can directly put the assertion on this drop down. All right. So this is one option. So what else we can do on the drop down other than this? So we have selected option from the drop down. We have find out, we count how many options are the drop down, and we also put one assertion on it. See, when you're writing the automation code, guys, retrieving the data is not important. Assertion is important. Why you are adding, why you are writing an automation test? To verify something, right? Why you are writing an automation test? To verify something. Without verification, without validation, is there any use for writing the test? You should not call it as a test, first of all, right? It should have some verification. So without having this assertion, just capture the elements. What you will do with those elements? What you will do with those options once you capture them? Ultimately, we need to add assertion on that, right? Otherwise, what is the use of capturing the options? There is no use, right? So that's the reason we need to focus more on assertion. So, okay, if you capture something, do we need to validate something on that or not? So that we need to focus. So that's the reason I have added assertion. But how to capture the options individually, we need to write a looping statement. Okay, that I will show you. Hold on. Okay, this is a assertion. If you want to capture the options, just I want to capture the options, I want to print them in the console. That is a different process. That don't have any assertion for that. Okay. So let us see. So what else we can do? So two things we have achieved so far. So we have captured option from the drop down, and then we have find out, or we have counted how many options on the drop down. We have done assertion. The next thing is presence of value, presence or presence of an option in the drop down. Check an option present in the drop down. So these are all very important validations we do on the drop downs. Okay, applicable for all kinds of drop downs. So check an option present in the drop down. So for example, let's say I have a drop down which contains so many elements. Now in those options, I want to check the France is present or not, or Japan is present or not, or China is present or not. Okay. So how we can do that? Let's say check an option present in the drop down or not. So this is another option. How we can check an option present in the drop down. So this is a very important thing. Again, to check option present in the drop down or not. So here we just capture options as a elements, but every element is having a text, right? So what is the drop down options? Drop down options are not representing the text values. It is just representing options in the form of locator. You understood my point? So these are options, but every option is having a text value. Text is associated with that. So these options are having text values. So we need to check the option present in the dropdown means what? Option in the sense some text. The text value we have to know. Then we can check it is a present in the dropdown or not. Okay. So this is just a returning all the options in the form of locators. But we don't need locators there. We need text values of every option. Text values of the every option. So now you tell me from the drop down options, if you want to capture the text values, how we can capture? In the previous classes, we have discussed this approach. Suppose I have a group of elements. From all the elements, I want to capture the text contents. For every element, I want to capture the text. How we can capture? Using what is a method? Text content or all text content. There are two methods I have introduced. If you want to capture the text content of the single element, then you have to use text content method. If you want to capture the text content of group of elements, then you have to use all text content. Understood my point? So now I'm using dot all text contents. Right. So what this particular method will do? What this will return actually? All text contents. So all text contents will also return the promise or not. All text contents will return the promise. Okay, so I can put await here. Right, so what is the return type of this? It will return string type of an array. It is returning string type of an array, right? So now I'm creating a variable here. I call it as a options text. What is this type? It is a string array type. Okay, now I will create this variable as a const. Clear. So far it was clear. So from the drop down options, we captured all the text contents and stored them in the option text. So now what is an option text contains? All the text options, all the options, whatever options we have in the drop down, we capture the text of each and every option and store them in a variable. Now let me try to print them and see what exactly this will print. Text options I'm printing. Okay. Now see the output, whether are we getting the all the text correctly or not. You will see that option. Okay, now launch to the page, everything is done. So close. Now you can see the output here. So the array contains this type of data. See, are you getting only the text or you are getting something extra? No, right? So that not only text, along with it is getting some spaces, some comma is okay because every element is separated with comma. And also before that and after the text, you are seeing the some spaces. You are seeing the some spaces. But I don't want to have the spaces actually. I want to capture only the text content should be there in the array. Other than this text content, I don't want to see any extra characters or any other spaces. I want to trim everything. I want to trim the right side and the left side spaces. Everything I have to remove. Then I want to get the plain text inside this array. Okay, that's how we need to convert this. So by only capturing all text contents is not enough, because when you store all text contents, it is returning the text contents along with some spaces and special characters. I want to remove them. I want to trim them. And not only one element. For every element, I have to trim. Every element I have to trim. So how we can do that? So this is additional logic which we have to write it here. But every time you won't happen like this. If you are getting the text correctly, then you no need to trim. But here the text is not getting correctly, you have to trim. So I will ask one question here. You guys can tell me. So I have an array like this. So this is my array. Assume that this is my array, which contains a different element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and these are the so many. Now my requirement is I want to have a target array like this. Now I want to take the first element, trim the element, and store the text here. United States like this. And again take the second element, again apply the trim, and then store the output here. Take the third element, fourth element, five element. Like this, each and every element I will take, apply the condition, which is a trim method, and output I want to store in the target array. So how we can achieve this requirement? We have to use map. Map is very, very important thing, guys. Many places we can see is map. We have to map. So we take this source array. This is our source array now. Options text is a source array. So this map we have to apply on the options text. And by applying the trim method, again, we will get the target array. This target array contains the actual text, right? So this logic we have to implement using map. So let me show you how we can implement this. Okay. Now, so here, this when I print this, it is printing with the special characters. So that is not our requirement. So now what we need to do? We need to just add something else. Here, await to drop down options dot all text content, right? So this is basically returns an array. This whole thing is returns an array. This whole thing is returns an array, right? So keep the array inside the bracket. Okay, now the internal part, this part is returning the array. Now where we need to apply the map? On this array, we have to apply the map. Now continue this. Dot map. So in this particular array, so this is returning an array. In that array, we have to take each and every option one by one, each and every text one by one. So I'm defining one variable called as a text. So what is the text is representing each and every element one by one. And this text, take the text, and we need to apply the trim method on the text. So text dot trim, text dot trim, and then close the bracket and close. So this is the exact way we need to implement, right? So this is basically returning an array. On top of an array, we are applying the map. What map will do from this array? It will take each and every option one by one into the text variable. And inside the arrow function, I have trimmed the value. And after trimming, it is written the original. After trimming, it is written the actual value into the option text. I'm not changing the variable. Variable still remains the same because the map method will return the array itself. After trimming all the values, it return the array itself, right? So this is our target array now. So now if I print this, observe this. You have seen before applying map how the data is, right? So now if I print this options text array, now you look at the options. Now previously this is the output we got. So now when I print this once again, look at the output, how it is got changed. Okay, now okay, perfect. Now you can see this output. So this is what we need actually, right? This is an array which contains all the text. Each and every option text is got captured in the array. So now our requirement will start. So check an option present in a dropdown. So here we already captured all the text options from the dropdown. So can we check the element is present in array or not? How we can check element is present inside an array or not? By using assertion. So we already have all the text. Now I want to check one of the text present inside the option text or not. Simply you can write one assertion. Expect. So we already captured all the options. What that option text dot. There is a method called assertion method to contain of, and then you can put whichever value you want. Let's say I'm just saying Japan. That's it. This is assertion. And will it return any promise? To contain method won't return any promise because we are verifying the value. We are not passing the web elements here. We are passing the text elements here, right? This is an assertion. So what is an approach we followed here? We captured all the option texts inside the variable. Now directly we put an assertion on this. So in this option text should contains Japan. If the Japan is a part of this options text, then assertion will pass. Otherwise, it will fail. So this is how we can verify the option present inside the drop down. So this is another important validation which we need to verify. So here we verified Japan, right? Right. So it won't select any option from the drop down. It will just check that option is exist in the drop down. That's it. Let me run it. So I remove the header mode for now. Right. So now you can see it printed all the options in the array, and finally the assertion is also got passed. Okay, so this is how we can handle or we can do certain operations. So we can select option from the drop down in multiple ways. We can count number of options in a drop down, and we can also verify particular option is present inside the drop down or not. And finally, someone is asked some time back how we can print options. We already done validations. Just I want to print all the options in my console window. Just I want to see what are the options are there. So what we can do, we already caption option text here, right? So using for loop, we can print them. So printing options from the drop down. Printing options from the drop down. Now, just you need to write a for loop printing options from the drop down. I can say for option text, whatever option text contains a group of options. From that, because this is an array, right? So how we can read the data from an array? You can use for of loop. Let me take one variable called option of, and option is a variable. I'll make it as a const variable. So from the options text, it will read each and every value from this option and then immediately try to print that option. I say console.log of option. That's it. By using simple for loop, we can print all the options in the dropdown. So when you print an array like this, it is just printed all the options in the form of an array. But here it will print options in the text format. It won't print in the form of an array. Okay, that is the difference between this one and this one. All right, so let's execute one more time. Okay, perfect. So it is printed all the options and also my test is got passed. So these are the operations most of the times we do on the drop downs. We can select an option from the drop down and then we can count the number of options in the dropdown. We can check the option is present in the dropdown or not. And printing on options is optional. So we don't do anything with those options. Major validations are these things. And apart from this, we can do some more validations. For example, let's say the drop down is sorted or not. So not a single select drop down. If you go to multi-select drop down, we can do further operations. Like suppose if you look at multi-select drop down. So these options are in sorted order or not. We can verify. Or this drop down is having some duplicate options or not. So that is also we can verify. Okay. Mostly in multi-select drop down, we do those type of operations. So now I'll show you them also. So let's move on to the multi-selector dropdown. So is everybody clear on the single selector dropdown so far? Single selector dropdown. How to work with the single selector dropdown? Okay. So here, I don't think so. Unselect is there or not. So okay, let me check. Dot. No, we don't have unselect option. Okay, so we can only select an option because in the dropdown, at least one value will be selected by default, right? If I automatically change to another value, by default, the old value will be unselected. So we don't have a unselect option method directly. So this is all about single selector. Okay, so let's go to the, because in Selenium, there is a deselect method also provided. So I think that's the reason you are asking here also it is available or not. So in Playwright, it is not available. Okay. All right. So now let us move on to the multi-select dropdown. So how we can handle? What are the multi-select means? We can select multiple options like this by just pressing Control key. We can select multiple options. These two comes under the multi-select dropdowns, or we can also call them as a list boxes. Okay. Now let's see how we can handle multi-select dropdown. Multi-select dropdown dot spec dot ts. Just like a single select, multi-select also, we can do the same type of operations, but a slight difference. I'll tell you what is the difference. So this is multi-select dropdown. Same URL I'm using. And we will see how to select dropdown options. Again, there are 4 options. Counting also we can do. And we can also verify check options present in the dropdown or not. And we can also print out options. Everything same. Same 4 operations we can do. Just like how we have done for single selected dropdown, same thing we can do for multi-selected dropdown also. All right, so now we'll see how we can select option from the dropdown. Again, here also there are 4 different approaches. 4 different approaches using uh, visible text or using label, using value or using index, we can select. But here we can select one option or multiple options. Okay. So now I'm writing this. So await page dot. So first of all, let me take the locator of the element. So here I'm taking the list box or multi-select dropdown colors. So inspect this element colors, and there is an ID which we have colors. Go here and hash colors. So now it is matching with dropdown element. Let's capture that element. Await page dot locator. Specify the locator. So this is the element. And now I want to select multiple options. So the first option is what? Visible text. By using visible text, we can select option. So how we can select? Select option dot same method, same option, select option. Here we need to just specify visible text in the form of an array. Okay, visible text in the form of array. So page dot locator colors, and here use an array. Here you need to specify. So what are the visible text you want to select? For example, I want to select red, blue, green, first 3. So just specify them. Red, comma, blue, comma, green. That's it. So this is how we can select. So await page dot locator. So we'll get the locator drop down, select option, same procedure. and you can pass the visible text inside the array. So now this will take three options. This will select three options. Let me try to execute and see. So I'm just making 5 seconds. Go to terminal. So multi-selected dropdown. Multi-select dropdown. Okay. So I should run this in headed mode. Okay. So three options we provided. So red, blue, green, and three options should be selected from the dropdown. Okay, now it is get passed. Let me run in headed mode. Okay, so just look at the output. Colors dropdown. Now you can see first three options are selected. Red, blue, green is got selected. Done. So this is the one option which we have. Using visible text. Using visible text. So multiple text we can pass inside the array. And the second option is again using value attribute also we can select multiple options using value attribute. So here you need to put the value attribute. So how we can put the value attribute? Again, same bracket. Instead of visible text, we need to just pass the value. So if I look at this, let me select other options now. So red to white to green, I want to select. And what is the attributes here? Value. Red to white, all are lowercase characters. Remember this. So red, lowercase. This is actually value of value attribute. Okay. So red, green. And what else? You can select a number of options. Red, green, and white. Comma, white. That's it. So using value attribute, we can select. So this is another option. So here, these are the visible text. These are the values. So I hope you understood the difference between visible text and value. Seems very similar, but they are different. Okay, this is the value. By using value, we can select on options. Okay, so now you can see this red, green, and white is also got selected. Three options are got selected and then closed. So this is by using value, we can select an options. The other option is again, by using label. By using label also, we can select. And you have to specify the label inside the curly braces. You have to use an array because we are representing multiple values we want to select. So array is a common, but inside the array, we have to specify the options, which options you want to select. The first option is I say red I want to select. So in the curly braces, specify that label colon red. This is the first one. Now similarly, comma, second. So label, let's say green I want to select. Again, the third one also I want to select, comma, and here red, green, yellow I want to select, like this. You can add multiple options using label. So this is a label of the one element, label of second element, label of third element. So red, green, yellow should be selected. So using labels also we can select an options. Multi-select. So you can see red, green, yellow is got selected. Three options have got selected. Using label, we can select options, group of options. And finally, what else we have? Apart from this fourth option, using index. So you can also pass an index. So how we can pass an index is very simple. So instead of labels, we need to specify the indexes inside the array itself. Again, curly brace is mandatory. Okay, in the curly braces, index colon 0. 0 option I want to select, comma. Okay, this is the one. And second element I want to select, comma. And fourth element I want to select. So total is 0 to 4. We don't know what are those options. Names we will see in the runtime. So using indexes also, we can select an option. This is the fourth option. So again, same, even single select also we have a 4 options. For multi select also, we have a 4 options. See now, red, green, and again red is got selected. So there are duplicate options are there. So they have selected. So 0, 4 is exactly same elements are there. Okay, so this is how we can select multiple options from the multi-select drop down. So this is the first one. Now check the number of options in the drop down. Again, exactly the same how we have done earlier. Single select to drop down. Same thing. How to count number of options. So first we need to get all the options in the variable. Then we can use count. So, but here the locator is got changed, right? So the idea of the drop down is colors. That is the only thing I'm modifying it. And inside this drop down, I'm getting all the options in the form of locator, and then I'm getting the count. So let's count how many are there in this colors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are there, exactly 7. So let me say 7 elements I'm expecting. Count. Okay. So now, yes, my assertion is got passed. 7 elements exactly matching, it is passed. So this is how we can simply count the number of options in a dropdown. So next one, how we can check an option present in the dropdown. Check option present in the dropdown. Same procedure again. So in single dropdown, single selector dropdown, how we have done. Again, same procedure we have to follow here, even multi-selects. So first we need to get from the dropdowns, we have to get all the text contents. And after removing the spaces, right and left side spaces, after trimming, we are getting all the options. And then in those options, we have to check the particular options present or not. So for example, inside this drop down, so we have a different colors. So I'm just expecting green is present or not. Green is present or not. Okay, this is a one validation. Check an option present in the drop down or not. So let me run this. I'm removing headed mode again. And trimming process is not always compulsory. Okay, before trimming, just check first. Okay, all text contents is returning the individual text content or not. And if it is returning the contents with special characters and spaces, then only you have to trim it. Otherwise, it is not needed. So now we can see these are the values the array is got stored. So now one is passed, means this value is present inside the uh, array list box or saying a multi select drop down. So finally, we can also print the options from the drop down. How we can print? Again, same process. We can write for loop and here specify the option. Okay, option of option text. And this option is a const variable. And just print those options. I can say console dot log off. And here we can just print option. That's it. So this will print all the options from the multi-select dropdown. Okay, perfectly fine. So we are able to print all the options. There are some duplicate options are there. Okay, so we have successfully printed all the options. So whatever operations and assertions we have done for single select, so even multi-select also, the same kind of assertions we can use. So other than this, the rest of them are exactly same. And even select option function is also same. Okay. So you understood everyone. So difference between single select and multi-select. And we can also do some further assertions or further operations in multi-select, especially like suppose you have some options here in a multi-select. So the options are in sorted order or not, we can check. Or the multi-select is having some duplicate options or not, we can verify that. Okay, so according to our requirement, let's say should not have any duplicates. So that we need to validate. And also according to the requirement, that list box or drop down the content should be in sorted order. That's my requirement. So we need to verify whether the elements or options are in sorted order or not. So let's see how we can validate them. So let me create another test. So the drop down is in sorted order or not. The drop down elements are sorted or not. I want to verify. So these are very important validations, guys. Even in interview also, these type of questions, definitely they will ask. So now I'm creating another test, sorting drop down, or I can say sorted dropdown dot spec dot ts. Sorted dropdown dot spec dot ts. So I'm just copying same code. I will try to remove all these things. Sorted dropdown, or we can say verify dropdown is sorted or not. Okay, this is the example. So let's see how we can check the dropdown is sorted or not. So very important logic we need to understand first. So let me tell you how we can implement this logic. So this is again programming logic we need to implement, guys. How we can verify the dropdown is sorted or not. Sorted or not. Let's say I have multiple options in the dropdown. These are the actual options which we have in the dropdown. So now what we need to do is we need to capture all these options. We need to maintain two different arrays. So we need to capture text from all the options and store them in one array. We call it as a versional array. Okay, versional array, which contains a whichever order the elements are present in the dropdown, in the same order will be stored in versional array. So this contains a versional elements in the same order. Now by taking this versional array, we have to create another array, which is sorted array. So we need to take this versional array, sort all these elements and store them in another array. Now this is my sorted array, this is versional array. So now we need to compare these two arrays. So versional array, sorted array contains the same values, same equality, same data type and everything. Then we can say this particular dropdown is sorted. This is a logic which we need to apply. Okay. First, we need to capture all the options into versional array. And then we need to sort this versional array and make it another array, which is called sorted array. And then we will compare versional array with sorted array. If both are same, then elements are sorted. If both are not same, then elements are not in the sorted order. So this is the logic which we need to implement. Okay. So step-by-step procedure I'll implement. I will also introduce some new methods here, which we have not discussed in the TypeScript. So just understand this. Okay. So first thing, so we have launched our web page. Now I'm taking a web page. Let's say sorted list. I'm taking this particular box because in this drop-down box, all elements are in sorted order. All elements are sorted order. So let us check whether it is sorted or not. So this is a element ID equal to animals. Let's write a locator animals matching with the drop down. So I don't want drop down actually, I want options, right? So you can say option. Then 10 elements are matching. So exactly 10 elements are in the drop down. So let me capture this. So capture all the options from the drop down. So how we can capture them? I say page.locator and specify the locator. So this is returning all the options from the drop down. So that I'm going to store in a variable. I call it as a drop down options, drop down options. Options and what is the type of this variable? Type locator. Okay, because the locator method always return locator type. So locator is a type. Perfect. So now we capture all the options into drop down options. Okay, now how we can extract the text from this drop down? So again, Let us see whether it is printing spaces or not. I can say console.log off. I just print the drop down options. So before using map, just try to print the values and check whether it's printing options along with the spaces or not. So let's go to terminal once again and then run the code. This is sorted dropdown.spec.ts. If you're getting text as it is, you don't need to trim it again. You don't need to use map. Otherwise, we have to do map. Okay, now we can see. Sorry, we have not printed text contents. Okay, dot all text content, all text contents. Okay. So I think this is returning promise, guys. All text contents is returning the promise. So we need to also use await. So let's comment this timeout because it's delaying the process. So now let me run once again. So it is trying to get all the text content and trying to print in the console window. And we will see whether the content is having spaces or not. Yes, now you can see the content is also having spaces. Now we need to remove the spaces. What we need to do for removing spaces for this? We need to apply map. Okay, so instead of just printing, take this. We need to apply map. Okay, so await drop-down options, all text contents. Keep everything in bracket. So this is returning an array. Dot, we apply map. Right, in the map, I'm taking one text variable. And taking the text, we need to apply trim method. So again, text dot trim. Okay, text dot trim. So this is returning all the values, all the text content in the form of an array. So I'm now creating an array. Const options text is a string array will be returned. Okay, now we capture all the options here. So now what is the next thing? We need to check these options are in sorted order or not. So this is basically an array. This is basically an array, right? So now what we need to do? We need to create a two more arrays, original array, sorted array, original array and sorted array. So let me create one array. So I can say const original list equal to options text. Can we do like this? Options text is an array. Original list is also an array. Original list also by default, original list is also string type of array because whatever type of we are storing, the original list is also string type of an array. Type is optional. If you still want to keep the type, you can keep it like this. So whatever the list of elements we captured inside this array, we are storing into original list. Original list. Okay. Just observe. Again, I am creating another array. Duplicate sorted list. Sorted list. So how to sort an array? Do we have any method for sorting an array? So options text is an array that I want to sort. Use sort method. Sort method is there. Very carefully listen this, which is very, very crucial stuff we are doing here. So what we have done, we have captured option text, all the option text by default. This is also an array, but we are not touching this array. We will maintain that separately. And we are storing the original array into another one array. This is a sorted array. So now just observe carefully. So here I'm trying to console.log. I'm printing original array list. Original list, for example. So original list is what? This is a original list. Okay. Now I'm printing the sorted list. This is our sorted list. Okay. Now observe what your expectation, guys. So will both will be the same or both will be the different?
So whatever the dropdown I'm using, by default, all options are in sorted order. By default, all options are in sorted order only. Okay. So now you tell me versional list, sorted list. Is there any difference or both will return the same thing? Both will return the same thing or both will return the different. So by default, the dropdown is having elements which are sorted order. So all sorted order. So if I store these elements in the version array, also sorted order. After sorting also, it will be in sorted order. Both should be same, right? So when I execute this sorted dropdown.spec.ds, just observe, both will be exactly the same because the elements in the dropdown is already in the sorted form. See this. So here cat, cheetah, deer, dog. Cat, cheetah, deer, dog. Same. Last one is rabbit and zebra. Last one is rabbit. Same order or not? Exactly same. Why? Because by default, elements are in sorted order. Okay, fine. For this drop down, it is okay. Now I'm trying to use another drop down. So for example, go to the previous one. So this is not in sorted order. The colors drop down is not in sorted order. Just observe carefully. So I'm using this one. Instead of animals, I'm using colors drop down. 7 elements are there. They are not sorted. They have not sorted. So now what I will do is instead of using this, I'm trying to use another drop down. And now what you are expecting? Rest of the same thing, everything is same. So now both will be different or same? Both will be different or same? You have to tell me both will be different or same. It should be different, right? Because the original content is not sorted, but after sorting, you should get the sorted list. So both should be different. Remember this, both should be different. Now let us execute the code and see the beauty here. Both should be different. We are expecting that. But see the output here, how it is going to print. See this? See, exactly same. The first one in whichever order they have. After sorting also, we get the same order. After sorting also, we are getting the same order. This is the behavior. This is not we are expecting, right? So before sorting, after sorting, the same elements are there. But what is the mechanism of sort? What this sort is doing now? First of all, is it sorted or not? It is sorted. It is sorted. But the versional list should not be sorted. But versional list is also sorted here. Okay, so in arrays concept, the sort method is mutable. Mutable. What is mutable means? In the strings I have discussed about mutability and immutability. Mutable is nothing but that will change the original. Okay, so in these two statements, what is happening? I'll tell you. The first option text we are storing into original list. Okay, and here options text we are sorting it. When I sort this options text here, and after sorting, I'm storing into another variable. But still, this is impacted the options text. So this is impacted the original list. So that's the reason after sorting, original list is also sorting. Original list is also sorting. This is the problem with the sort method in arrays. Okay. So why sort is impacting the original? Because it is a muted. Sort is a muted. It is not immutable. It is mutable. Mutable means original values is able to change. Okay. Then how to avoid this problem? To avoid this problem, we have to use one special type of operator, which is called triple dot. Okay, triple dot we have to use. So let me show you how to use. So here in the first statement, we are storing options text directly into original list, right? So here we put this in the bracket and 3 dots. This is called spread operator. 3 dots is called a spread operator. So when I use this kind of syntax, what will happen? The list will be stored in the original list. The original values will be stored in the original list. And here also, Here also we have to use the same thing. This we have to keep in the bracket and use 3 dots. And after that, use sort method. So this will not impact the original list. So when I use this spread operator, this will not impact the original list. Now just observe carefully. I'm running the code once again. This is called spread operator. So now we can expect original and sorted should be different. See now, the first one red, blue, green, yellow. But after sorting, blue, green, green, red. So these are the after sorting. This is the original list. So this is exactly we expected, right? So what we have done here is we have captured all the elements from the dropdown and we stored them in original list. And after sorting, again storing another list. Now we just printed. Both are different. So both are different means what? Elements are not in sorted order. If both are same means what? Elements are in sorted order. Now how we can put the assertion here? We can put the assertion. So what is an assertion we can put? Expect original list. I'm taking original list dot to equal of sorted list. That's it. If both are equal, then my test will pass. That means what? My list box or drop down is in sorted order, or else it is not sorted. Okay. Now let me execute now. So will this fail or pass in this case? I'm using this. This is not sorted actually. And first one is a sorted list. Okay. So now I'm using this one, which is not in sorted order. So what is an output you're expecting? Will our assertion will fail or passed? Passed or failed? Definitely it will fail because the drop down is not sorted order. The drop down is not sorted order. So definitely it will fail. Yes. See, now it is, why it is get passed? To equal, sorry, we have done some mistakes. Multi-select drop down. We have run something else. Okay, just a second. Sorted drop down we have to run, right? So this is our sorted drop down. We have some duplicate options in the drop down. That's the reason that is repeated actually. So now my test is got passed. Now we can see expected 3, received 3. So actually there are 3 options are different. Okay, so that's the reason it is getting failed. So this particular assertion is got failed. So now let me change the drop down. So this time I'm giving the drop down which is already sorted. So now this time it should pass. See, let me run this again. So this time it should pass because the drop down is already sorted. So original and after sorting also the element should be same. Perfect. So now it is got passed. Okay, this is before sorting and after sorting also the same elements are there. Same order elements are there. So it is get passed. Okay. So this is another validation we can do on the drop downs, whether it is sorted or not. Very important in interview perspective. Okay, so duplicates is a different. Okay, so sort method won't remove the duplicates. It's still be there. It won't remove any duplicates. Okay. Now, so further another validation also we can do. So we can find the elements are duplicate or not. Any options are duplicated or not, we can find. We can also verify duplicate options are present in the drop down or not. That also we can verify. So for that, I'm taking this drop down again. So here in the colors drop down, we have a duplicates actually. But in the sorted list, we don't have any duplicates. So now let us see the dropdown is having duplicates or not. How we can verify that? So let me create another test. New file. Duplicate dropdown. These are all interview perspective, very important, guys. Duplicate dropdown dot spec dot ts. Okay, so now I'm again copying the same stuff. Duplicate dropdown. So verify dropdown contains duplicates. So simple logic which we have to write here. Let me remove all the things. Okay. Now, how to find the dropdown is having duplicate or not? So basically this is a dropdown. Colors dropdown is having duplicates. So what I will do is here having duplicates. Having duplicate, but here not having duplicates. So I'm taking two different lists, not having duplicates. So first let us take the duplicate one. So this is the one I'm taking first. Okay, now we need to verify this drop down is having duplicates or not. So I have written all the locator. So this drop down options is having duplicate or not. So that we need to verify. Okay, so what we need to do now? First of all, colors option. Take this colors option and inspect the element. So it is actually returning 7 elements. And again, in these 7 elements, there are some duplicates also available. So try to use this. So we already used it here. So colors and option. Okay. So drop down options, we got it. So now we need to verify it is sorted or not. We need to verify it is sorted or not. Again, we need to capture all the options. So here we just capture only options. We need to capture the text options, text of all the options. How we can do? Again, same procedure. Drop down options dot all text contents. This will return an array. So we need to keep this inside the bracket. So this is all return an array. And after returning array, we need to apply the map. So use map dot map. And I'm using a variable called text. Right? So arrow function text dot trim I'm using. Right? So this function, this whole thing will return all the elements from a drop down. So that I'm going to store in a variable. Let's say options text. So what is this? This is again string type of an array, and a const variable. Okay. Now I captured all the options from an array. And inside this, I want to find the duplicates are present or not. Duplicates are present or not. So again, we need to apply one logic here. So first understand the logic, then we can easily implement this. So what is the logic behind that? So in the TypeScript, we have a special type of collection called set. So we already know about array concept, right? Array contains duplicates or not? Can we store duplicates in array? Yes or no? Can we store duplicates in array? Yes. So in the array, we can store duplicates. In the tuple, can we store duplicate elements in the tuple? Duplicate elements. Yes, tuple is also allowed the duplicate elements. Apart from this, we also have another type of collection in TypeScript called as a set. Set is also representing some group of elements. But what is the difference between this one is array and tuple allows the duplicates, but set cannot allow the duplicates. Set cannot allow the duplicates. Only we can store unique values in the set. Okay. So now we have to make use of set collection. Set collection. So then what is the logic behind that? How we can find the duplicates in an array? So by default, option text is an array. So in this, we have a duplicate options also, right? So now what we need to do is, let's say we have, first listen this, okay? Option text. we already have option text. So there are multiple options are there. So which contains all the duplicates also. Now what we need to do, we need to create one set collection. This is basically set. It's not allowing the duplicates. This won't allow the duplicates. Another collection we have to create. This is normal array. Now this can allow the duplicates. So here this array can allow the duplicates. Set is not allow the duplicates. Now observe carefully how we can implement the logic. So whatever options we have get here we have some duplicate elements. Now we need to read the first element, and we need to check the first element. If the first element is present inside the set or not. So for now, initially we will take both are empty. Set and array, both are empty. There is no values in both. Okay. So from the option text, this is also an array. From this array, first we need to take the first element and check this element is present in the set or not. If it is a present, if the element is present, then can we add this element to the set once again? If this element is, suppose here I have an X. This X is already present in the set. Can we add this X again in the set? No, because duplicate element not allowed. So if this element is not present in array, if the element is already present in the set, what we need to do? Because that is a duplicate element, we should add in the array. Here we need to add. Okay, take another element. If this element again we will check, is a part of the set or not. If it is not part of the set, that is a duplicate. If it is a part of the set, that is a unique element. So that is a condition here. So if the part of the set, then we should add into the duplicate element. If it is not part of the set, then add to the set. So finally, after completion of this, the set contains the unique elements. And if there are any duplicate elements, that will be storing into array. And if you print this array, that will print the duplicate elements. So basically we are filtering the elements. If it is a duplicate element, then we are adding into the array. If it is a not duplicate element, then we are pushing into set collection. So this is the logic which we need to implement. So you will understand this once you implement the logic. So same thing, I'm trying to implement this. Listen carefully. So we already captured option text, which is an array, actual array. So now I will create one set and one array. So a const, I call it as a my set, equal to how to create an object for set collection using new keyword. We will create a new set of, and what the set contains, what's the type of data we are storing in the set, string data. So explicitly you can specify that. And if you don't specify this also, no problem. We can store any type of data in the set, just like arrays tuple. Set is also allowing us to store any type of data. But if you want to store a specific type of data, then you have to specify that in Angular bracket. Now here, what is my set? My set is a set of string type. It is a set collection basically. Similarly, I will create an array also. Const duplicates. Duplicates is nothing but an array, which is a string type of an array, and empty array, no values in it. So now I have created one set collection, one array collection. This is our set. So this is our set. Set means what? Not allowed duplicates, or duplicates not allowed. Duplicates not allowed. Array can allow the duplicates. Array duplicates allowed. Okay, so now remember that these are the two important crucial things which we need to understand. So set collection not allowed duplicates, whereas array will allow the duplicates. Now I'm writing the logic for loop. I'm writing inside the for loop. Okay, so now I'm taking each element one by one. From where? From the option text. From the option text, I'm taking each and every element one by one. So I'm using for of loop, for of const some text. So now from the option text, I'm reading each individual text into the text. So now what is our logic? We need to check the text value is present in the set or not. If this value is already present in the set, what does that mean? That is not a duplicate. If the text value is not, if it is text value is not present in the set is nothing but we need to add that into the duplicates. So now I'm just checking the condition. If the particular my set, whatever set I have created, I'm taking this. My set has the text value. What does that mean? This is one condition we need to put. Else, another condition we need to put. This on this. So I implemented one important logic, right? So this is the implementation part. Let's say these are the original elements. This is my set, not allowed duplicates. So this is my array, which is allowed the duplicates. Right, now observe this. First, I'm taking the first text. And my set has a text, returns true or false. So when this will return true, if this element is a part of the my set, if this element is already there in the set, then returns true. If the element is already part of the set here, what does it mean? It is a duplicate element. Because this element is already part of the element, I cannot store it again. If I store it again, that becomes a duplicate. So if the element is, the set is already have this element, that means we need to add the duplicate element in the array. So if the first condition, if condition is true, if set is already having the text, then where we need to add the text, we cannot again re-add the same text in the set collection. Where we need to add the text in duplicates. In the array we have to add. So take the array, duplicates array, duplicates. Now how to add element to the array? How to add elements to the array? What is the method? Dot push. We have a push method, right? So text. This is the condition. So what I'm saying, whatever element I'm capturing and check the set is already have that element or not. If already having, that is a duplicate element. So where we need to maintain the duplicate element? In array. So that's the reason I'm adding that element in the duplicates array. Okay, that's the first condition is satisfied. Now second condition. Suppose if this element is not present in set, if the element is not present in the set, then that is not a duplicate element. So we need to add that element to the set. So if the element is already there in set, then we add to the array. If the element is not there in the set, then what we need to do, we need to add that element in the set collection. How we can add element to the set collection? Same, my set dot add method we have. Here we don't have a push, we just have an add method. That's it. This is the logic. Okay, so next time, suppose let's say here I have an element. Just observe carefully. So here XYZ, ABC, XYZ. I am taking duplicate elements also. Now observe the logic. First I am taking XYZ. XYZ is already there in set or not? Initially, first time. XYZ already there in set or not? No. Then what we need to do? We need to add here. Done. Now go to second element. ABC is present in the set or not? ABC. No. So what we need to do? We need to add to the set. ABC we have added. Now third element, XYZ. XYZ is a part of the set or not? Yes. So now this is a duplicate element. Now third time the XYZ we need to move to array here like that. Okay. So finally 3 elements are completed. Now the set contains a unique elements. Array contains a duplicate elements. This is the final logic. Okay. Now if you want to print duplicate elements, which one we need to print? Just we need to print the array that contains the duplicate elements. Now I'm printing the duplicate elements. Just observe. Console.log of duplicates. After completion of this loop, after completion of the loop, the duplicates contains the duplicate elements. So which array I'm taking? Having duplicates. So this particular list contains the duplicate elements. Now I'm printing the duplicate elements. So what are the duplicate elements are there? So I'm just printing duplicates. Duplicate options are, I'm just printing the duplicate options. Just observe carefully. This is duplicate dropdown, right? Duplicate dropdown. So when I print duplicate array, that will print the duplicate values. What are the duplicate values? So now set contains the unique values. Duplicate array contains the duplicate values. Okay, now you can see that red and green are duplicates. Red and green are repeated multiple times. So red is here. So red is again repeated here, this element. And green is here. And green is also repeated here. So 2 times it is repeated. Okay. So now we find out what are the unique elements, what are the duplicate elements. So now finally we need to add one assertion, whether this dropdown is having duplicates or not. How we will confirm? We already know the duplicates is having some value. So how we'll confirm that is duplicates are having or not? Simple, we need to write one assertion. Expect the duplicates, how we can count, how we can find size of an array, length of an array. Length is a keyword we have, right? So dot length to be what we are expecting here. So that drop down should not have duplicates. That's my expectation. Should not have duplicate means what? Length should be 0, right? Length should be 0. If the length is 0 means what? There are no duplicates. Okay, there are no duplicates. So this is how we can put. Or if you want to just print a conditional statement also, we can write if you want. I can say if duplicates dot length greater than 0, for example. Then what does it mean? Console.log duplicate options found. And how we can print the options? Simply you can print those options. Duplicates. Array name I just printed. So duplicates, that's it. Else, suppose duplicates dot length is not greater than 0. Then what we need to do? Unique elements are there. So else I can print console.log of, I can say no duplicate options found. You can put message like this. Okay. So now let us execute this. So as of now, this particular dropdown is having duplicates. So let me run the test. So will it assertion will pass or fail? Assertion. As of now, my dropdown is having duplicate values. But what I'm expecting here should not have any duplicates. So definitely my test is passed. So receive 2 means there are 2 duplicates are there. But what I'm expecting? 0. So definitely it is failed. Now let me give another dropdown. So this is having duplicates. But this second dropdown, this is not having duplicates. So this time will it pass or not? It will definitely pass because we don't have any duplicates. So this is simply logic oriented problems. So you need to just practice this. So this time we don't have any duplicates, so it is get find. So no duplicate find. So duplicate array don't have any values. Okay. So this is the validation which we can do. So duplicate elements are there or not in the drop down, and the elements are sorted or not also. We can simply verify that. Okay. Clear, everyone? So just practice these things for today. And these are all about static dropdowns. Means what? The options are static. So they won't change anytime. So options are always static. Same order. Order won't change. Options also won't change. But sometimes we have a dynamic dropdowns. Means what? The same elements you won't see every time. And these elements are also dynamically loading. When a page is loading, these elements will be loaded dynamically. Auto suggest dropdowns. We can call them as auto suggest dynamic dropdowns. And sometimes you don't see the select option. If I see this dropdown, you can see select option. If you see the select option, and then only you will able to use this particular select option method. So whatever options we have selected, this method, select option method works only if you have a select tag for the dropdown. But sometimes you don't see the select tag. You will see something called button tag or div tag or some other type of tags. So those type of drop downs, we call them as a bootstrap drop downs. So we can handle them in the different approach, in the different way. Okay. In the next class, we will continue this concept. So for today, just practice this, very important, right? So based on this, once you practice these, I'll give one assignment. You guys can try that. Just a moment. Yeah. So this is the assignment based on the drop down only. So what you need to do is, I have given the clear instructions and you need to just read them very carefully, and accordingly you implement your automation test script. So I'll tell you what is the flow. First of all, open the website. And once you open the website, you will see different products displayed in the web page. Okay. So these products are randomly displayed. So what you need to do is, from this drop down, you have to select lowest to highest. First option you have to select. So then the products will be arranged in the sorted order based on the price, lowest price to highest price. Now, once it is rearranged, then you need to capture the prices of all the elements. You need to capture the prices of all the elements, and then you need to finally find what is the lowest price and highest price. What is the lowest price and highest price? So this is the task. I have given clear instructions. So locate order by dropdown element, verify dropdown is displayed and enabled. So you need to add multiple type of assertions. You can check it because we already done this. Verify dropdown is disabled or enabled. Then select an option lowest to highest from the dropdown. And after that, what you need to do? Retrieve the list of product price elements and also retrieve the list of product names also. Prices and names also you need to retrieve separately. And then you need to count. So how many product names are there? Those many number of prices also should be there. So you need to count both are equal or not. So number of products and number of product prices and number of product names are equal or not, you need to check. Then print each product name along with its corresponding price in the console window. After that, access the first element of the product prices list and the first element of the product name list. And then print lowest priced product name and its price in the console. Similarly, highest. Access the last element of the product prices list and the last element of the product names list. Print the highest price product name and its price in the console window. So read this very carefully. This is our requirement. And based on that, you need to implement your automation test script. Okay, so this includes many things. You guys can do that. So based upon today's concept. Okay, so that's all for today's class, and tomorrow we will continue further.